Welcome back to the final segment of Student Spotlight. Jay Sandhouse along with Jessica Cortada.
Hello.
And Jessica is a very interesting student, very interesting subject. When I teach announcing, one thing I talk about is standard American English. And Jessica, and that's where you're free of regional accents. Jessica could be the poster child for that. She's perfect diction, perfect.
Thank you, Jay.
But Jessica psychs herself out like nobody's business.
I do. I mean, I'm working on it. The more I take your classes, the more I see myself trying to relax, you know? But it's just something that comes to me, like, you know, like Cynthia has her nervous, you know? To me, it's more like I'm my own director, and I don't know how to control that. But the more you talk to me, the more it's getting through finally in this hard head I have, that I have to just let go, because if not, no one's going to want to work with me. No one's going to want to hire me. They're going to be like...
And that's the thing you and I have talked about, is that you could have all the talent in the world, and you do.
Thank you, Jay.
But if you don't stop doing what you're doing, you know...
It's going to definitely go downhill.
Either that or someone's going to strangle you. One of the two.
I'd rather go downhill.
Yeah, I understand. but one thing a director and a producer looks for when they hire talent is coachability. Mm-hmm. And sometimes that could actually be more than their talent themselves. Meaning that if I ask you to do something and change it up and you're able to do it right away, you know, you're coachable. So I bring you in for an audition and I ask you to read or do something and you do it and I go, okay, now do it this way, and you do it. Right away in my mind, okay, I'm going to get her to do it the way I want to do.
Okay, because she's versatile.
That you're versatile. But in your particular case, you're criticizing yourself more than I'm criticizing you. And we wind up doing something 20 times where at some point a director will say, okay, that's good. And you're going to go, really? And you go, yeah, it's good. No,
I've done it so many times, I end up literally, like the green screen, I ended up like memorizing exactly, even the movements I wanted to do. Like I remember, I think one for, I wanted to do something like this when it was something, Brian coolly and efficiently led his Lakers past I don't know what. I mean, I literally still know it, you know? Imagine it's on the teleprompter and I could probably recite it to you right now.
Well, the one thing that you have to be prepared to do is you're going to work with people in the industry, and there are going to be some people that are going to tell you, this is how you're doing it. Don't change a thing. You know, but there are going to be circumstances where they're expecting you to put your own personality into it. When you hire a movie actor, the reason why you hire a movie actor is because of who they are.
Yes.
And you have to understand a lot of times the reason why you're hired as on-air talent is because of what you bring to the table. So sometimes the memorizing it and doing it exactly the same way is not the best thing. Now, if you're reading a script and it's a voiceover, meaning that we're recording your voice, and it's 30 seconds, you have to read it in 30 seconds. It's interesting in this class because you guys had voiceovers to do and people were throwing in copy, and I'm like, do you not understand that you only have 30 seconds?
Yes.
But when you're up in front of a green screen and you're doing entertainment copy or doing a show like this, it's not in your best interest to have things memorized.
No, it's not. And I mean, I think what I felt most comfortable in was doing the voiceovers, only because I guess I didn't have that, not that I'm afraid of being, you know, in front of a camera, I'm not, but I guess it let you be more of yourself. And I mean, I'm in there and I'm jumping around. Like I remember when I wanted to do the sports copy, like you literally have to be like on something, like very, very hyper, because it's a very high intensity type of cell. So, I mean, that I was literally myself in there. I mean, it took me a couple of times too, because I am some sort of perfectionist in some areas of my life.
But you know what? You're very entertaining in the respect that your critiques of yourself is entertaining. Oh, wow. Because you read 3 words and you go, yeah, that's how you say it. What's wrong with you? You know, and you're talking to yourself. But you kind of have to learn to ease up a little bit on yourself. Now, right now you're going to the University of Miami.
Yes.
And it's a different environment than going to school here.
It is a different environment. I would say last summer's class with you is the most competitive environment I have ever been put in, or thrown into almost. But it's different in the sense that it's more of a university feel. You have, how can I explain it? It's like I'm in the School of Communication at the University of Miami, so within the school, I have friends, and here it was more like I came to school, I did my job, and I left. Over there, it's more of a family type of atmosphere with all the classes, because usually if you have someone in one class, you're going to have them in the next class. I mean, I think there's maybe, if not 800 students within the whole entire school.
Well, and that goes back to what we were talking about in the prior segment with Alexandra, is that when you go to a school like the University of Miami, you're going there because that's your job.
Yes.
We're here, so many students are trying to fit this in around their work schedule. So the family atmosphere, it's not because you don't have it here, it's a lot of students here, as soon as class is over, you know, they're running to work or they're running home, where there, you know, it may be you have a class that ends at 1 and then your next class is at 3.
Yeah.
So you're just there more. And the classes are bigger.
They are bigger, but they tend to have more computer. You know, if there's 16 computers toward a class, you know, you can't really do overrides. It's not like here where you can have tons of overrides. No, over there, what they have in the class, if they're 16, they're 16, and that's all you have. But I mean, the professors themselves, not to say anything, obviously, Miami-Dade, you've been my favorite professor here.
Thank you.
I go to the University of Miami, and I'm still coming to Miami-Dade for this man right here. But it's different in the sense that they're working professionals. Like, I took a class, it's called CEM 317, and it basically prepares you for an internship, which I kind of snuck one in with you,
Right.
with CBS 4, which made me realize that maybe news isn't for me. But back to the class, he is, I think, the assistant news director to WPLG Channel 10. And he just gives us, a lot of the professors are working, working professionals. And they just show us exactly what's going on in the industry. It's like, okay, well, learn this because this is what we're using right now. And it was a good time to take his class because they changed from one station to, I think, Pembroke Pines. And he literally, like, he was being himself. Like, it was like his most natural state, because he's like, I have no idea what's going on in there. It's like everything he had just went he was not in himself. And he literally told us, you know, this is what you have to start learning, this is what you should learn, and that really helped all of us, I think.
Well, one great thing about this particular industry is that when you have people who work in the industry and they're telling you this is how they do it out there, it's because they've been out there.
Exactly.
And that makes a difference where professors in other disciplines, math, science, and of such, you know, I mean, math is math, they're equations, and it's cut and dry, where you know, this particular profession, like others, is evolving, and it's changing, and something that is, you know, current one year is obsolete the next year. And one thing that I stole from my friend Al T, one of my mentors, is that technology, you either embrace it or it passes you by. So when you're trying to get your grandmother or your mother to learn how to use a computer, and they're telling you, oh, no, I don't know how to use this thing.
Texting, that's the thing with my mom. She's literally she jumped on the bandwagon, and it's like, can you just call me? It's a lot easier to do that than just sit there and send me this text message.
Exactly. So what's after University of Miami? I know you talked about maybe going to law school, graduate school.
I'm thinking I have 1 year left. I graduate with my bachelor's, God willing, May 2010. And I'm thinking of maybe pursuing a master's in public administration, only because at the University of Miami, they make you get 2 majors. I'm double majoring in broadcast journalism and political science. So if that goes well, I'm actually taking master's classes as an undergrad. So it's kind of appealing in the sense that, you know, you're only maybe 30 credits away from getting a master's. So I might do that and then possibly go to law school. My boyfriend's starting law school now, so maybe I'll see how he does, and if it appeals to me, I'll definitely think of going.
That's a good strategy.
Yes.
Jessica, thank you so much for being on the show. I wish you like the greatest success in the world.
Thank you so much, Jay.
And I want to thank you all for watching, and I hope you enjoyed watching the show just as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you.
Loved it.
So on behalf of Jessica, Alexandra, Cynthia, and the entire crew at MDC TV, this is Jay Sandhouse saying,
bye-bye.
So long from the Sunshine State.